Hey, so I just want to give a little overview video of what I'm all about, why I'm posting on social media, what people I think might be interested in my content, who I am, what I do, and just kind of, just an overview of what I'm all about. So first, I'm not a personal trainer. I'm just a guy who started working out in the daytime instead of the nighttime. Had a lot of people come up to me and say, your workouts are kind of impressive, which I've never been called impressive before, but I had enough people say that to me. It gave me the confidence to go out buy a cheap tripod, cheap microphone, and say, hey, I'm going to throw stuff up on social media, and maybe I can help some people and, give them some tips and tricks. So I'm a web developer. This is not my full-time job. I'm just doing this just to see, if I can help people. So with my workouts, I realized that I'm not just doing over-the-top cardio. There is a rhyme and a reason. There's kind of a philosophy, if you will, to how I work out. And it breaks down to three pillars: comfort, composite exercises, and micro gains. Comfort, really, that's probably the primary one. And I'm going to do a video on each one of these separately. The comfort one is going to be kind of long because that is so core to everything. If you're not comfortable when you're working out, you're distracted, and you're distracted from your breathing, from form, from focusing on the exercise at hand. And so many things can distract you. Pain can distract you. If you're people who sweat box, I never really understood sweat boxing, but to me that's distracting. I want to be as comfortable as I possibly can be so that I can push harder and go longer in the gym. So composite exercises, most people might think that I'm talking compound exercises, which are things like bench pressing, where you're working your triceps, your pecs, and your deltoids, and a few other muscles. Composite exercises, if there's a better term for this that I'm not aware of, please leave a comment below. I just kind of made this up. That's where you're combining cardio and strength training in order to get an efficient, low impact whole body workout, really getting the best of both worlds from cardio and strength training. So I have several examples of these that I'll be doing a longer video of each of them in separate videos. And then the last one is micro gains. I really try to push everything to failure and keep everything in that cardio zone, really turn it up to 11 and keep it there. And so at least once a week, I try to do something to challenge myself. And I have a couple little strategies that I think might help people, get out of plateaus and get to the next level and make little gains, but make a little compromise over here. I have some suggestions that I think might help people. So what type of people do I think might be interested in listening to me talk about working out on the internet? Honestly, a lot of people. When I first started working out, it was about losing weight. I was about 60 pounds heavier than I am now, and working out like this really helped me. Anybody who wants a whole body exercise, people who just want to get in, get out, get done, but work everything out. I've got some tips and tricks for you. If you just want to maintain in strength, and say you're a little older and you just, a lot of my workout techniques are actually inspired by physical therapy, and they're low impact. So it's great for people who are maybe a little older. Maybe people like myself, my goal, I want to gain muscle, but I don't want to risk injury by lifting heavy. I haven't lifted heavy in over 6 months, and I'm pretty sure I'm not hurting for it because I use things like BFR straps and certain techniques that I'd like to share with you to help do that and help me combine strength training and cardio into those composite exercises. Maybe you're somebody who just wants to get over a plateau. Maybe you already lift, or you're into cardio and you're just at a place. Well, I think some of my exercises will definitely challenge you. Or maybe you're just like Lester from American Beauty. You just want to look good naked. Nothing wrong with that. One of my personal goals, though, so when people come up to me, I've had people ask me, what are you training for? I look at them kind of funny, and the answer I finally came up with was, I'm training for life and my future wife. And quite honestly, I'm self-employed. I don't have insurance. This is my insurance. So it pays for me to be in as good a shape as I can be. I'm not on hardly any medication. I take one cholesterol. Take a statin, and that's about it. So count my lucky stars for that, knock on wood. But I want to be in the best shape as I can be, but I don't really want to be skinny. But honestly, I'm a little lazy too. I want to use whatever hacks I can to gain and maintain muscle using cardio. And, you know, I don't count it as cheating. They're just hacks. Help you get over those plateaus. So, in doing this, I have to manage my expectations though, because, you know, I'm not a professional athlete. I'm not a professional influencer. I'm just a guy with a cell phone. So, since I'm not getting paid to work out or lift heavy, I don't work out like a professional athlete, and I encourage you to have that same mindset too. You know, a lot of people, they do crazy lifts in the gym, and I do some crazy workouts, but they're very low impact, and I've trained up to them. People who do heavy lifts, they really risk injury, and unless you're getting paid to do that, just don't. And as for me, and what do I expect to, you know, what type of conditioning do I want? I don't think I'm ever going to have a six-pack or anything. I just want to be in good shape. I like peanut butter way too much. So, but yeah, that's what my channel is about. If you got questions, comments, you got some suggestions, ideas, if you've used BFR straps, if you've seen me at the gym and you just want to say, hey, leave a comment below, and good to hear from you. Thanks.